the image of seeing the bottom of the coffee cup when the cup was full reminded me of going fishing with my father, who loved spear herring at whatever time of the year when it does those. And one day I was fishing with him, and my job for breakfast was to make the coffee. And apparently I didn't make it to his liking, because he said, "My God, you could spear fish through that." Lauren Namey, thank you so much. Let us give a nice hand, a round of applause and thanks for Ronnie from Joyful Noise, who is our sound man. Thank you, Ronnie. Our next storyteller is not interested in very much introduction. He tells us he has told stories around the world. Please join me in welcoming David Thompson.
Excuse me for a moment, I need to speak to the interpreter. I happen to work as an end-of-life doula, specifically with the dying homeless. I call upon the ancestors. I call upon the three-pronged Awen of inspiration. Be here now. And in that time before now, before your ancestors' memories, when the world was young and the gods spoke in deep voices, there was no death. For the gods had banished death beyond the horizon. But the gods in their naivete had forgotten about eternal youth. And so it was. People, animals, plants, even rocks withered, 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 withered. And they called out, "Release us, release us, release us." And Matir Zemlya Soya, moist Mother Earth, she upon whose very breasts we walk, called a council, and the gods appeared. And it was decided to send the divine twins beyond the horizon to bring death back in, to offer release. And so it was. The twins walked and walked and walked, and they came to that point, to that horizon, where they stepped over, and all was quiet, and all was peaceful. And they walked and they came upon the wooden dacha, a forest home. But that was where death was. and they knocked 3 times. And a voice came from inside. "Who is there?" And the twins answered, "It is us. We are the twins. We have been sent to bring you back into the world." "By whose command?" "By the counsel of the gods." "Be gone." So they waited 1 year and a day, 3 months and an hour. And they knocked again 3 times. And a voice came from the inside. "Who is there?" "Oh, it is us, the twins. We have been sent to bring you back into the world." "By whose authority?" "By Mater Zemlya Soria, moist Mother Earth, she upon whose very breasts we walk." And the voice said, "Go away." And again, the twins waited 1 year and a day, 3 months and an hour. And again, they knocked 3 times. And a voice came from inside. "Who is there?" "It is us, the twins. We have been told to bring you back into the world." "By whose authority?" "By those seeking release from pain and sickness and age." And at that moment, the door to the dacha opened. And death, in all of his beauty and gentleness, stepped forth. And taking one arm, he gathered up this half and brought them to his breast. And with the other arm, he gathered up the rest and brought them to his breasts and held them and kissed each one and flung them into the sky, where they became the stars that look down upon us in love and compassion. Speak and remember.